YouTube. Today we are doing another edible flowers taste test. It's been a little while since we've done one. We've got a few new flowers blooming in the garden, so it's time to do some sampling. I want to put it out there, if you're going to try edible flowers, do thorough research before you try anything. I do my own thorough research to know what flowers are edible, which flowers we should not be eating. And if you're ever uncertain, the best thing is not to try it. I check multiple sources for information to ensure the flowers are edible. I don't want to play Russian roulette with my life, so we are trying the flowers that are known to be edible, that are thoroughly researched today. And I also want to put it out there that I would never eat flowers that are bought from a nursery, straight out of the nursery or garden center. They could be sprayed with pesticides, and that could be very dangerous. So keep those in mind when you're thinking about trying edible flowers. Certainly, if you have a homegrown garden and you grow them yourself, don't be afraid to research and give it a try. But don't go buying flowers that could be sprayed and eat them. Not a good idea. So for today's taste testing video, we are trying a variety of different flowers, including what you see right beside me, the snapdragons. We're trying yarrow for the first time ever. We're gonna try some carrot flowers for the one and only Grandma Sandy. Hello, Marijuana Marianne. Welcome to Vancouver Island. We are taste testing flowers this morning. We're gonna start with the snapdragons right beside me, and definitely do research before consuming any flowers. I have tried a snapdragon last summer, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was pink. Today we're going to try white. And what I've learned about tasting flowers in my taste testing journey, sometimes you can try the same flower of the same species and have two completely different tastes. I don't really remember my one from last year that well, but this year I have white. And I'm never afraid of trying flowers, but let me show you what's going on with the flowers right now. I don't know if the camera is capturing it. There are lots of little bugs on these. I'm still not afraid of them. I just don't love it as much, but we're gonna do it anyways. I don't mind the concept of eating bugs. I just hope they don't carry any diseases. So we're gonna have just a couple of petals from this snapdragon. I will pick them, and you can see, and we'll take a look at whatever bugs might be floating around. I see one. We're going to try to remove the bigger bugs if we can before I actually try this. Greetings. We're taste testing flowers. I'm trying to remove some of the bugs before I start with this snapdragon. I'm not opposed to eating bugs. It's more the possibility of disease is the only thing that makes me a little bit nervous, but I'm not too concerned about it. I'm sure most of us have eaten bugs in our lifetime over the years. We're starting with a single petal from this white snapdragon, and certain flowers you can have the same variety and they taste completely different. Let's give it a try. Oh yeah. Oh, this is a good one. This is giving me sweet vibes. I love when a flower has a sweet nectar to it. A lot of the ones I've tried have a bitter or salad type of essence. This is definitely giving me sweet nectar vibes. Very, very good. Almost gives me vibes of like a honeysuckle, something like that. Really good flavor. Earlier in the season, I taste tested peach tree flowers and plum tree flowers. Both have sweet vibes, and the snapdragon, the white snapdragon, is definitely giving me those sweet flower vibes. Very good. I always like to cleanse my palate before we move on to another flower. So I think we're gonna try yarrow next. I have never tried yarrow. I have some white yarrow blooming. We're gonna move over in the garden a little bit and give it a try. Just turn the camera around for a minute. and we're going to venture down to my yarrow collection. Actually, I have a couple collections of yarrow, but now that I think about it, I actually have a pink yarrow in the front garden. We're going to start with a white, and then we might go try the pink and see if there's a difference in taste. Sort of forgot that I had a pink one. So where is it? Oh, here it is. It's blooming amongst my Shasta daisies. Do not eat Shasta daisies. They are not edible. English daisies are edible. Shasta daisies are not edible. But this here is yarrow, and yes, it is edible. I have never tried it before, but all of my research confirms it is edible. So we're going to give it a shot, see what it tastes like. The camera isn't focusing now. There we go. Turn it around and give it a try. Oh, holy doodle. That is a unique flavor. Definitely gives me like, I want to say like tea vibes. Like you would put this in definitely like a steamed tea. How else can I describe it? Very potent, very like powerful, and it hits you. It's not sweet. I wouldn't call it tangy. Almost bitter, but kind of in a different way than the typical bitter. And I'm trying to think of a better word. I'm not really sure. It definitely hits you hard. Very interesting flavor. Unique is the best way I can describe it. Not bad. I've certainly had worse, but definitely a unique one. I definitely think it would go well in a tea. I'm not sure what I would pair it with. Perhaps a rosehip flower, but definitely something you could think about putting in a tea, maybe with a chamomile. If you're making a fresh blend, like fresh flowers, dry them out, make a tea with them kind of thing. Not bad. Now, as promised, we're going to venture into the front garden and try the pink yarrow that I have. I only have a small collection, sort of pinkish red color, and I'm really curious if the pink is going to taste different than the white. I guess we will find out together. For anyone who's watching, have any of you lovely people ever sampled a flower? I'm really curious. There are so many edible flowers out there. And in the last year, I have eaten a lot of flowers on my taste testing journey. So yarrow, right here. We've got a couple clusters. This is a pink yarrow. Got a couple little shoots of it here. We're gonna break one off and give it a try. We've got some here. And let's see how the pink one compares. I actually spat it out. It's not bad, but it's so strong. It's stronger than the white one even. I know they say it's edible, but if it is, just put it in a tea. It's really not that good. Like, it's got a very potent flavor. Was not one of my favorites. So far, the Snapdragon has been the best one today so far. Next, we're gonna try a carrot flower. I have never tried a carrot flower. I've heard from my research they're definitely edible, and they might actually be better if you deep fry them or stir fry them. My little search last night, but we're gonna try it raw, and I might, if I like the flavor, actually do another video about frying a carrot flower, but not today. That'll be for a future video. I know there is a viewer called Grandma Sandy who grows carrot flowers on YouTube. She is quite the carrot flower grower, and she would love to watch this. Sometimes she shows up for the live stream. So, hello, Lucas Winter. How am I doing? My name is Lucas Winter. I have special needs. Welcome. I'm taste testing flowers, but if you ever have this idea, you need to research or have a caregiver research for you what flowers are edible and which are not. Not all flowers are edible, so make sure you're careful if you try flowers. Here are my flowers that are carrots. So if we were to pull these out, there would be carrots underneath, but we're going for the flowers today. And supposedly they're really good cooked. So we're gonna take a bloom. Should we do a full bloom or a partial? Maybe just a little bit of, I think I'll take the whole thing. I don't know if I can take, there we go. And we're gonna give it a bite. I may or may not eat the whole thing, depending on the taste. I'm just gonna sit down for a minute. Sometimes you wanna be sitting when these flavors hit you. Oh, this is not bad. Very unique. I could see how this would be better in a stir fry. It has kind of a mild yet tangy flavor. Definitely gives me more vegetable vibes. Not bad. I may actually try this in a stir fry, or I'm really proficient with deep frying anything at all, but I might try to deep fry it. I think it would be good. Texture is amazing. I'm definitely a texture person. Ever since I had the COVID several years ago, I have not had the same taste, and texture is really important to me, and this has a really good texture. Very unique flavor, but not strong, and I like things that aren't necessarily strong. Not sweet, but definitely giving me more vegetable vibes. Pretty good, actually. I could see this in a soup too. Probably would be good in a soup. I thank you for everything. You are awesome to me. Every day you make me smile. Thank you so much. That makes my heart really happy. Yes, so that's my thoughts on a carrot flower. I'm gonna have a drink before we sample more flowers. Just gonna get my water bottle. So, the next flower we're going to sample, I think we're going to do the marigold, and I cannot remember if I tried this last season or not. I may have, or I may not have. I did a whole bunch of flowers last year. Some of them I now eat regularly, like kale flowers, I eat them in my salads. Pansies, I eat them in my salads. Tulips, I eat them in my salads. But not every flower do I eat regularly. So we're going to try the marigold. Oh, and onion and chive flowers. If you've never tried one, they are so good. I eat them all the time. But I might do a taste for you of those first, possibly. We've got these, our little onion flowers that are just starting to form. They're not really open yet. But if we pick one of these off, hold on, let's focus the camera. This is going to become an onion flower. We take it off, it'll break off. And you can eat this, totally edible. You can either eat it the way it is or put it in a salad or a stir fry. And this, oh my god, is so flavorful. It basically tastes like a really strong onion. So good. Yes. I'm sure this is chock full of nutrition too. And now I need another drink before we eat the marigold. One moment. Where did I put my water bottle? There it is. If you ever want to wake up in the morning and you have a vegetable garden with onions or chives and they are blooming, go outside and have an onion or chive flower. Guaranteed it's going to perk you up times 10 very, very quickly. Not in a bad way, but like it just hits you hard and like, woo, probably a good dose of vitamin C too. So we're gonna go harvest marigolds. Oh, I'm gonna drink my whole water bottle before we're finished. I see a nice looking flower. This is what connection just died. Of course, YouTube, you are playing with me once again. I think just one moment. I'm gonna see if my internet connection is playing games on me. I gotta see 90% of you, and that is fine. We're taste testing the marigolds now. We have one right here, and I can't remember if I tried it before. let's give it a try. It smells good. It smells like flowers. Oh, this is good. Hello, Jasmine. I'm taste testing a marigold right now. Have to say, it's good. It's really good. Not all flowers are delicious, but the marigold is pretty good. Gives me mild vibes. Very mildly sweet. Very good. Comparable to the snapdragon I tried at the very beginning of this live stream. The white snapdragon. A little bit of sweetness. I would definitely eat the marigolds again. Could put them in a salad. Could even put them in a dessert because of that little bit of sweetness. Could put them as a cake topper if you're making like a beautiful cake. Maybe trying to think of what kind of cake you would put them in. Maybe a cheesecake topping. Something to make the cake pretty. Okay, that was really good actually. What should we do next? I know what we're gonna do. Now, in a previous live stream, I taste tested a purple pea flower, and I now have other colors of pea flowers in my vegetable garden. So we're gonna try a different color of pea flower and see if the ones that aren't purple taste the same as the purple ones. I have three colors. This is the purple one I tried already. We're gonna try, there's like a blue colored one, and there's also a white one. So we're gonna start with the white pea flower and see how this tastes. I'm super curious. So here it is. And we're gonna give it a taste test. Okay. So basically what it tastes like is if you were to eat the peas fresh on the pod. Yes, marigolds are edible. If you were to eat a pea fresh on the pod, like the ones I have right here, that's basically what it tastes like. And from my memory, when I tasted the purple ones about several weeks ago, it was pretty much the same taste. Sometimes flowers will taste different from color to color, and sometimes they don't. So that was interesting. I'm gonna have a drink, and then we're gonna try the blue pea flower and see if there's any difference in taste there. I'm really curious. Oh, there's a lot of very edible flowers. You know, roses are actually edible. If you watched one of my last live streams, I was taste testing roses. And there's quite a variation in flavor between rose varieties. The orange ones seem to taste much better than the pink and white ones, from my experience. So next, we're gonna try one of these pea flowers that has a more pale blue color. I haven't tried these ones before. So we're gonna see if there's a difference. My prediction is that they're gonna taste pretty much the same as the white and purple ones, but let's see how they actually taste. Yeah, pretty similar. I would say a little bit more mild than the purple or the white colored flowers, but a good taste. I would eat any of those in a salad or plain. Honestly, the flowers taste just as good as the peas themselves. But if you want the peas, then you can't eat the flowers because you need the flowers to get peas. But very delicious actually, very refreshing. From all the flowers I've eaten today, the pea flowers are definitely the most refreshing varieties. Next, we're gonna try another flower that some of you may not know is edible, and that is the calendula. I have a few different varieties of calendula all over my garden. Once you plant them, you probably won't easily get rid of them. This is a calendula flower for anyone who is interested. And we're gonna give it a taste test. I think I might have tried this last year, but I haven't eaten it. If I did, it's been a year since I ate it, and I don't really remember what it tasted like. So we're gonna give it another try and see what we think of calendulas. I like there's no bugs in this flower. That is a bonus. This is good. So when I started eating this one, sometimes I put the whole flower in my mouth, And sometimes I start with the petals versus the center. And the reason I do that is because I've learned sometimes the petals are delicious and the center is disgusting. Sometimes the center is delicious and the petals are disgusting. Really depends. Sometimes the nectar is in the center and that's where the sweetness comes from. And other times it's throughout the flower. Very different. Anyways, back to the taste. Mild and mellow. Definitely how I would describe this. I would definitely eat this. I would eat it in a salad. I would eat this in a dessert. It's pretty versatile, the calendula. You could put it in tea, but it doesn't need to be in a tea. You could definitely go in a salad, dessert, eat it by itself. Definitely a good one. If you're going to grow calendulas, I highly recommend you try eating them. I only have one variety this season. If you're into calendulas, they do come in like a snowy white color and orange, different shades of orange, but I only have one right now, so you can only taste one. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to try a nasturtium flower. Many of you have probably heard nasturtiums are edible. Well, I'll show you my nasturtiums first. And I have tried these before, but not the color we're trying. Nasturtiums, the traditional varieties, are red and orange. Now, I am growing varieties of all different colors this year, and I have never tried this one before. I have basically a creamy yellowy colored nasturtium flower. I have never ever tried this specific color before, and I'm super curious if the flavor is different than the traditional reddish orange color. I have no idea, so let's give it a try. I have eaten the reddy orange ones before, and they're typically quite spicy in a good way. Great for salads. So we have the nasturtium flower. Let's give it a try. Oh, very interesting. So my first thoughts, not nearly as spicy as the reddish orange nasturtium flower. Much more mellow and has a very strange essence to it. Not at all like the reddish orange. I don't hate it, but it's really, really weird, whatever it is. Yeah, I can't even put my finger on how you would describe it. In terms of spiciness, if the red ones are like a 6 on the spice scale, like thinking of the spiciness from 1 is hardly noticeable and 10 is like off the charts hot and spicy, the red nasturtium I would say is like a 6. Now this one, the yellow one, I would say is like a 2. It's hardly spicy at all. It's kind of weird. I mean, it's definitely an interesting taste. I don't even know how to categorize it, but I wouldn't say it's my favorite. I don't hate it. I would eat it again. I would put it in a salad. I think it would go really well with salad greens, but so hard to describe the flavor. Now, if you're new to nasturtiums, all varieties, as far as I've learned, of nasturtium, you can eat the flowers, you can eat the leaves, you can eat the stems. So really, I could take out a bowl and harvest from this entire plant and it would all be edible. And I might even do that later. For my lunch, have some nasturtiums with a piece of chicken or something on the side. That would probably be a good lunch with a little bit of cheese. I think that might be delightful. Very, very unique. I have not tried a flower that tastes anything like that, actually. The yellow nasturtium, very interesting. What should we try next? We're going into the front garden and we're going to try some roses that I haven't tried before. I have several varieties that I haven't sampled before, so we're going to do that next. I'm going to bring my water. I've almost emptied this whole bottle during the taste test. I drink quite a bit of water between flavors to try to cleanse my palate. Now this is my showbiz rose. We did try this, if I remember correctly, earlier in the season, so we're not trying today. Bachelor's buttons, these are edible too. I don't know if we're going to try them today. I did eat them recently. These are also edible flowers. They are a different kind of rose. I ate them in a recent video. And pansies, maybe we'll stop and eat a pansy. I eat these all the time. They're getting a little rugged. You don't really want to eat the rugged looking ones, but these are awesome in salads. Very mild and mellow, and they pair really well with lettuces and spinach. Super good. And in theory, you could put them in a dessert, like a shortbread cookie, maybe cover them in chocolate. Is that a gopher hole? I don't know what you're talking about, but there's no gophers on Vancouver Island as far as I know. You guys, I just found another flower we can try. I forgot about it. Before we try the one I was talking about, we have another nasturtium to try. So cool. I also haven't tried this variety. This is like a, well, you saw, it's orange and red. Now, I've only traditionally tried the vibrant red ones. This one almost looks tropical. And we're going to give it a try. There's only one flower here, but there's another bud coming. So I'm not too worried about eating my only nasturtium flower. I just took a drink of water to cleanse my palate from the pansy. And now we're going to give this guy a try and see how it compares to the yellow nasturtium that we just ate. So here it is. Let's see. Okay. So how I would describe this compared to the yellow one, definitely more tangy. A little bit spicier, but not as spicy as the red traditional nasturtiums. Really good. I think would be perfect in a salad. I don't have any more, but that was a good flower. I actually think it's better than the yellow one in my real honest opinion. I would prefer to eat those orangey with red spots. Nothing wrong with the yellow one, but it's definitely a different flavor. Very interesting. There's more roses. I have eaten these ones, but we're actually going to try a different rose. No, as I was saying before, no gophers on Vancouver Island. Vancouver Island, we have another species of animal that is similar to the gopher, but we don't kill them like a lot of people kill an endangered species. And we only have a few of them in the high mountains of Vancouver Island. So they're protected animals. They're so cute and adorable. I've never seen one in real life, but there are no gophers on Vancouver Island. For better or for worse, we don't have gophers. I'm going to have to venture into the garden a little deeper. We're going to go for these red ones. This particular guy, we're going to go for one of these. Try to find a fresh looking one. This one here. So I've picked the rose. It's falling apart in my hand. And we're going to give it a try. Whoa, hold on. Got to sit down before I lose the petals. Okay, we're going to eat some petals and see how it tastes. This is kind of a deep red, but when I pick the petals, they almost look more pink. On the plant, they look red. Okay. This one, I want to say, has a very mild sweetness. It's pretty good. I would definitely put this on a cake, a cheesecake, perhaps even a wedding cake. I'm not a cake maker, but I think this would decorate really well on a beautiful cheesecake, maybe a multi-level wedding cake with some chocolate drizzled. This would be so beautiful, and it's so delicious. I actually can't remember what variety of rose this is. I have a few mystery roses in my garden, but this is a good one. If I can remember later, I'll pop the name on the screen, but so delicious. So we're going to have a very unique rose next. I have some in my garden that are kind of like designer roses. If I can remember the names. Okay, we're going to get back to picking roses. We have two here, and if I remember correctly, I believe this is my rose called All American Magic. One of my absolute favorite roses. It kind of looks like a painter painted it. These two flowers are on the same plant and they look quite different, but we're going to go for the yellowy looking one. This is a fresh bloom versus an old bloom. Usually safer to pick the fresh ones when you're eating flowers. So we're gonna pick that. I kind of don't want to sacrifice it, but you know what? We're gonna pick a few petals and leave some of them on the plant because I really love the flower. And we're gonna give these yellowy orange petals a taste test. Mmm. Hmm. Oh yes, this is a good one. It also has a very mildly sweet flavor. Mmm. Oh, that is I want to describe the flavor as gorgeous. Not a very good descriptive word, but it's a beautiful flavor. The pink one, the pink and red one we just tried was sweet. This one is even sweeter. And once again, I would totally put this on a cheesecake, a wedding cake, maybe a multi-tiered wedding cake. I think it would be beautiful. You could either coat it in chocolate, have it plain by itself. You could do a dark chocolate, a white chocolate. Oh, it is so delicious. It is so good. Yes, not all roses are equal, that is for sure. Some don't taste as good, but these particular ones are very good. That just made my taste test go a lot better, these two roses. Some of those flowers weren't as good, but these particular roses, delicious. I'm running out of water. I'm getting little drizzles in my water bottle. I think I have some ice cubes in there. I might actually eat a little ice cube before we do any more. I think I might have another rose to sample out here that I have not tried before. I'm just gonna eat an ice cube first. Oh, have I put ice in the bottom of my water bottle? I will look at the garden while I'm eating. Lots of flowers. Okay, let's move on to another flower. We're gonna find that other rose. You can see there's some bees. Kind of wonder if they're sleeping or if they overdosed on pollen. Not sure. These flowers here I've eaten. They don't taste as good as those other ones we just ate. Definitely not as good. I mean, they're edible, but the one we're trying now is this ground cover rose right here. It is so beautiful and so abundant with flowers this season. And I've never tried this one before, so we're gonna give it a go. Let's see, which one should we sample? Let's try this one here. And we are going to try it out, see how it tastes. Uh-oh. I sometimes press the wrong buttons on the stream and then I get strange messages popping up. Okay. Mmm. Mmm. Oh. Okay. This one, honestly, not as good as the last two. Almost gives me a little bit bitter vibes. I mean, it's edible, but definitely not as flavorful as the other ones. And I'm not getting that sweet essence of the previous two roses, so it's a little bit disappointing, but that's okay. It's all an experiment. I'm going to eat another ice cube here. I'm chewing my ice now. Excuse me. And look at the flower while I chew my ice cube. I was just experimenting with pressing a couple icons on the live stream. I'm not super familiar with how live streams work, so I was just seeing what the functions were. Hopefully I didn't screw anything up while I was eating my ice cube, but I have another flower to try right beside me. This is another shum. Now this is different than both the first and the second one we tried. This one doesn't have any red on it at all, and that is interesting. So I'm really curious if this is going to taste a little bit different than the previous ones. So let's give it a try. Okay. It's really good. Not spicy. Doesn't have that weird taste that the first one had. I would actually rate that one was my favorite. So the pure kind of orange without the red and no yellow, sort of like more of a pure orange, vibrant color. That's my favorite nasturtium so far. And I actually don't have any red ones right now to try it with. I have other colors planted all over my garden, but none of them are blooming yet. So later in the season, we're gonna go around. I have purple ones planted. I have a deep burgundy planted. I have a vibrant red planted. So later in the season, we're gonna do some more nasturtium taste testing, as well as some more flowers. The flower tasting is just getting started for this season. So thank you all for joining me today on my little taste testing adventure. I think we are done for the morning. I don't have any more off the top of my mind that we're gonna try today. So I hope you all have a lovely day, evening, night, wherever you are. Bye-bye, and follow along if you want to see more flower tastings.